ladies and gentlemen, how you doing today? My name is Bilify, and today we are here to counter a glove. Which glove is that? Why, of course it's the oven glove! And these are going to be the amazing goobers who are going to be helping us to figure out what counters this brand new oven glove. Today we have Midnight, Scho, Viewer, Cyborg, and Klee. Shout out to all of you. We're probably going to have some people joining throughout. Shout out to them. Let's get it going. Can you Thanos out of there? So, you can't use Thanos to... Excuse me? Oh, that was weird. Alright, so you can't use Thanos to escape out of this, but what you can do is, if you end up getting hit into one of these and you're gonna fly off an edge, you can use Thanos to go back onto the main island after you get shot out. That's one way you can use Thanos. So Thanos can definitely work to save you, but is it gonna be a glove that I'd recommend fully? Probably not, just due to the fact that it has no offensive capabilities besides just the base slap. Magnet is gonna be the exact same as Thanos, but just a little bit different. If there's another person in there, it won't work. But if you're the only person in the oven by yourself, you'll magnet towards the person who's sitting there waiting for you to fly off the edge. But like you saw, if there's multiple people in there, you're gonna magnet to the person that's with you. So magnet's not a good option. It's just something that could possibly work if you are solo in that oven. Will the golden ability save you? Okay, so you can activate the ability while inside, which is a little odd. You still get shot. Golden's not a counter. So if you have Golden activated, you can walk up to them and not get caught, but as soon as your ability's gone, yeah, you're in here. And there ain't no avoiding it. What happens with Cheeky Ball? Oh my goodness. No way, dude. Yeah, Viewer said big old meatball. Yo, that's wild. So... okay, so you can definitely use Cheeky to take reduced explosion knockback. You know you're going to be shot in a direction, hold the direction opposite of that. Other than the reduced shot, I wouldn't use Cheeky because you'd have to be in Cheeky Ball form prior. You can't activate it during. So can you bake a replica clone? No, they cannot be yoinked up into the oven. So, you can't use Replica when you're inside of an oven, but you can use the clones to deter them from coming after you. You could consider this like a low-end counter. It's not perfect because you have no defensive capabilities if you do get trapped, but you can cast the Replicas out to go fight them and possibly bait out them throwing in their oven on a Replica. So, this has a very good use, and this might be the best one so far. What happens with reverse? I think I saw this while we were recording the initial video, and I don't think reverse works, which is crazy. Nope, you are in there. What happens if you use Duelist near the end? So you can't activate it during, but if you see somebody and you angle yourself, oh, goodbye. No. Oh, so in a way, you could use Duelist to save you. In a normal arena aspect, you're gonna have multiple people like that coming after you, or you might be surrounded, or there might be multiple people inside of the oven itself. So if you spam your glove and your ability at the exact same time, you might be able to place it while you're flying away. It kind of varies on when it lets you do it. It's kind of weird. So Duelist with multiple people can work, but there hasn't been a solid counter to this at all. Can you Adios out of an oven? So I can't use it during. Will I be able to save myself if I get shot? Yes, you can, but it's very close. So, is it something I'd personally use? Probably not, just due to the fact that it has no offensive capabilities other than just the base slap. If you use Balloony and you stack balloons, what happens? Definitely at least have some balloons ready when you're fighting them, because if you do get trapped, your objective here is going to be to spam your abilities to inflate some balloons while you're flying in the air. You definitely want to get to 3 at least, so that you can make it back to mainland, and then just pop them accordingly, and then once you get back to mainland, you could do it that way. Is it going to be the best solid option for you? Probably not, but can it work? Yeah, it can. So all the deterrent gloves that I usually call out could potentially be counters here. Track, not so much. This is going to remain a deterrent glove. Some might say this could counter it because they can't get close to you, but it takes so long for you to get your ability back, and you don't have a glove. That's the bad part. So if you use track and it goes to another person, you are caught without anything to defend yourself. Now, Tableflip could be a counter. It's not going to help you if you get caught up inside of the oven itself, but if you see them and they're coming after you and chasing you down, you could of course heave a table flip at them and oof them that way. But again, nothing defensive wise. Ping Pong is going to be exactly like the table flip glove. You could say it's a deterrent, you could say it's a low end counter, but I'm not going to say it's a full counter just due to the fact that there's no defensive capabilities with Ping Pong. It's just straight up offense. If they're chasing you down, trying to put you inside of an oven, throw these ping pong balls at them. They stand a great chance of dying if you do connect. Baller is an NPC just like the Replica, so Baller will not be sucked up into into an oven, which is good. Nothing defensive, just something that can inhibit the ability for them to put an oven on you cleanly. That's the best way I could say that. Slicer is also going to join in the ping pong and the Tableflip. Those three are going to work the exact same, only Slicer's become a little bit less deadly with more updates that have been released. The three main gloves that have a distanced fight, a shooting fight instead of up close and slap, are going to be great. Usually deterrents, but in this case, yes. Slicer, ping pong, Tableflip, all are going to be great to keep them away from you. The Jebaited glove, I feel like this might be our first solid counter, but it might have to be activated beforehand, making it not so solid. We'll see. You could definitely use this to make them mark out and put down their oven, and then once they do that, now you're back at your body and you can go and fight them and either make them slap you or something. So in that sense, yeah, you could use Jebaited. Not the best counter, but it actively works. Right now, I'm thinking maybe Jebaited might be our best counter. Nothing that's like, oh, I'm definitely going to use this once I see an oven user. Nothing to that extent. Except maybe another oven. Yeah, if I see an oven user, I'm probably going to be using an oven against them. Guardian Angel's, of course, going to save your friend, but if they get stuck in an oven, can you cast a Guardian Angel on them? You can throw it in there. Okay. Alright, we're on God's Hand. There you go, God's Hands users. You can walk up behind people and hit them. They can't place the ovens during time stop. So using the God's Hand, as you just saw, the time stop makes it so that they can no longer place an oven. If they have an oven already up, you have to watch out for that. In a slap fight, all the one-shots are going to beat them, but all the one-shots don't have anything that they can avoid being put into an oven with. Or if they're stuck in the oven, they can't get out of it. What about phase? What happens here? So you can't activate it during. You get hit. Not gonna happen. But if you have phase activated, you will not go in the oven until your permeable or the phase ends, which is why I just went into this oven. So phase is just gonna be like golden. It's actually exactly like golden. If you are able to slap somebody before you get put into an oven, this will absolutely save you. So you're not gonna be able to use it beforehand, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna wait for yourself to be shot. Once you do get shot, just swap over to the person that you slapped previously and you're good to go. But again, the big problem with warp is you are required to have somebody slapped prior. And I'm looking for something that you could use right off the bat. So warp is a W, but at the same time, bomb, bubble, jet, and bob are all going to be really good deterrents. You could say shard's a deterrent, but I want to put this as like a low-end counter just due to the fact that it will slow them down. It will slow them down on trying to chase you. So if you can land your ice shard shots, yeah, it'll work. Jupiter, will this give you enough of a reduced explosion shot to be worth it? But yeah, with Jupiter, oh yeah, it could be really good. The only time you'd really have to worry if you have Jupiter is if the oven's like right on the edge. Jupiter could be a really good counter, but at the same time, they get their oven back so fast that they can keep you inside of an oven for quite a long time. So once we get exploded out, if we were to try to come back and fight, they get their oven right about there. So if they create any sort of distance between you by the time they go for the oven, yeah, it's really not going to work. And that accounts for Hybrid's yellow mode as well. It's the exact same thing as Jupiter, only you have 3 other abilities that you could use as well. If you go into a Slapple tree, are you safe? You are safe. Definitely safe, and you could just run over here and keep jumping and pressing them away even if they try to camp you with these. I like Slapple a lot because you get your tree back pretty quick, and if they try to camp you with it, it's not really going to work out for them. Now, this isn't going to protect you if you get put into an oven, but this is definitely going to keep you safe from the ovens, because if they're going to camp you with them, run the other way, run a different direction. They're not going to be able to catch up to you. Can you get torn off of a Rattlebones? How crazy would that be? No, you can't. Okay, so if you were able to get on top of Rattlebones, you can avoid being put into one of the ovens, which is pretty cool. Can you use glitch while in an oven? No, you can't use it in an oven, but you could definitely use this as like a deterrent. If you have people chasing you, you could obviously just throw them up there and run away. Now to the best counter that I could think of in my head at the time when this glove first came out. Fish has so many good uses. Are you probably going to get stuck in an oven? Definitely. But are you going to be safe? For sure. Just use fish after you get exploded. You're good to go. You can go right back into fighting, and I think you can get back faster than they can place back their ovens, so you could have a very good fighting chance. If you're able to leash them, can they still put down an oven? No, you cannot. Ooh, so if you're able to snag them, leash can be a pretty decent counter. The bad part is it's just a slap, and they get their ability back pretty quick, so leash might not be your go-to, but if you can actually get a hold of them, you have them trapped until they reset or you kill them. So you could use the Kinetic as like a one-time knockback stopper. Just hit your E button right as you're coming out. The glove auto-equips, so just keep spamming E. You definitely use Kinetic in that sense to just to take no knockback or a reduced knockback. The problem though is your percussive blast takes a good chunk of time to get back, so is it really going to be something that's super viable for you? Probably not, but it can definitely work that one time that it needs to. So the Boogie can be kind of decent, so if they try to come place an oven on you, place down the Boogie, they can't do it. So as long as you stand like directly underneath your Boogie, you won't be placed into an oven. So that can work, but if you step a little too close, that's gonna happen to you. So I kind of like Boogie in this scenario here because you can take away their glove and slap them so that they can't use their oven, and if they try to come place an oven on you, as long as you are directly in the center underneath your disco ball, they're not gonna be able to place it on you. So this can kind of create a stalemate between the two of you. I like Boogie. I don't know if I'm gonna put it as a top counter, but it's definitely really good. Now to its neighbor, Recall. Thanos and Adios work, so I think Recall will as well, but you never know. Alright, so you can't use it in it. You can't use Recall until you're done ragdolling, so it works this exact same way as Adios. I would probably, out of these three, I would use Thanos, then maybe Recall, and then maybe Adios, but it's definitely Thanos ahead of these, for sure. Can you call out a Kraken? You can sometimes manage to call out a Kraken. I think that works with all gloves. At some point, it will happen to where you can use it, but it's hit or miss a lot of the times. So here we go with Rob. This is going to be the exact same thing as Phase and Golden, where if you have it popped beforehand, it's not going to put you inside of an oven. But if you're in an oven, I don't think that you can cast out a Rob. And if you do, you're still going to take the explosion knockback because your character is not fully registered as a Rob user. So yeah, can't cast it in there unless we somehow manage to get it off at some point. But as long as you are inside of this, you are good to go. And the people who are actually inside of this won't die, which is the cool thing. But once somebody gets shot into me, then yeah, it's over. So yeah, exactly like Golden and exactly like Phase. A problem with Rob though is if you do end up eating somebody, it takes an incredible amount of time for you to get your ability back. So that's kind of like a deterrent from wanting me to call this like a really good counter. So one of the gloves that has the unique ability to be used quite frequently inside of an oven is going to be Retro. You can get the ability to pop off, and then once you do get exploded, you can use the Retro Bomb to kind of blow yourself back. A way you could do it without spamming is if you get to the bomb and get placed inside, you can just spam your E button. You don't even have to try to spam your glove. That way, once the timer's done and you're on bomb, you can just do that and kind of take a reduced knockback. It doesn't necessarily work each time just due to the fact that it's kind of random on where your body is facing, but it can work. You could also use the band hammer if you're in an oven. So if you're being surrounded, spam your ability and the hammer at the same time, and it will hit them with that hammer, but in the direction you're facing, so you'd have to shift lock. So this isn't going to be a top counter, but it has the capabilities of being a counter just due to the fact that you can avoid the oven by having good movement. You can keep them away from you by using the rocket launcher. I don't know exactly where to class Retro, but it can be decent. The next counter that I'm thinking is going to be Alchemist with its invincible mode. So if we place 2 mushrooms in here and place an elderwood, it gives us an invincible potion. And if we drink this, ah, yes, the invincible potion. It shall protect you. Alchemist might be my top counter for this, just due to the fact that if you are able to get 2 mushrooms and just 1 elderwood, you can become invincible. And then all you would have to do from there is either grab explosion potions or death potions, toxic potions, freeze, who knows? You can gather as many potions you want as long as you're invincible. Alchemist, absolutely top tier against this. You just have to make sure you get invincible fast. And then Druid. This is going to be exactly like ping pong. This is going to be like Tableflip. This is going to be like Slicer. This is going to be something that deters them from going after you because it has such a broad spectrum of where it can attack, and it does a lot of time wasting. So if they are coming after you, just cast it out. It'll wrap them up into that little gooberness, and then by the time that they are out of it and trying to come after you, guess what? You will have your wild vines again. They will not be able to get close to you. Just keep casting it out. So I'm definitely going to place Druid on the top counters list. It's such a good deterrent that it has become such a good counter. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna do it for all the counters for this, which is barely any. This might be the glove that has the fewest counters in the game. No glove is gonna really save you once you've been entered into that oven. It's definitely crazy. This is one of the most overpowered gloves that I've seen in a bit, but it's not super overpowered because the explosion that happens doesn't send you that far. It's like overpowered, but balanced overpowered, if you know what I'm saying. Let me know, what was the counter that surprised you the most? Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you to everybody who showed up to help out with these counters. We had a lot of people come and go, so I appreciate every single one of you. Right now we have Andrew, Saul, Scho, Midnight, Clee, and Cyborg. Shout out to all of you. I appreciate you all. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that every single one of you have an amazing rest of your day or night whenever you are watching this, and we shall see you in the next one. Later!